No one has ever seen flies near Mama Nomsa's fish, not one. Her table at Johannesburg Market stays fresh, full and flawless, even when other sellers fight off swarms with brooms and smoke. Her fish, big, silver, always clean, and no matter how much she sells, she never runs out. People whisper. Some say it's luck, others say it's muti, but the truth is darker. Mama Nomsa wasn't always like this. There was a time her house in Alexandra echoed with silence, a time she cried beside the Vaal River with nothing left but sorrow, until a woman with eyes like water offered her a gift that came with one rule: let no man touch you, not in love, not in longing, or your skin will betray you. And Nomsa, she kept her word, until someone made her smile again. It was a Saturday morning, and Johannesburg Market was already full of life. The air smelled of fresh morogo, chili, and raw fish. Women shouted prices in Zulu, Sotho, and Xhosa. Children ran between stalls, and the sun had barely touched the top of the sky. But among all the noise, one place stood out: Mama Nomsa's fish point. The queue stretched longer than any other stall. Her fish was always fresh, clean, and strangely untouched by flies, no matter the heat or smell from other sellers' tables. No single fly hovered around Mama Nomsa's fish. People joked about it, but they still came in numbers. "Give me that one I'm pointing at," one woman shouted, stretching her finger urgently. Another customer raised her voice. "Please, I came here before her." "Mama, attend to me now before they pick all the big ones and leave the small fish for me," a third woman said, her hands on her waist. Behind the crowd, other fish sellers murmured. Their whispers were sharp with jealousy. "She must be using something," one of them said. "She washes her fish with muti, I swear," another added. "She's not even that friendly, but see the crowd," said Mama Thandi, one of the oldest sellers on the row. But Mama Nomsa never replied to them. She just kept her face straight and her hands busy. She was not the loudest. She didn't beg customers, she didn't argue, yet everyone wanted her fish. Inside her heart, she told herself again, "If only they knew. If only they knew what I gave up for this life." Her skin always looked fresh even in the Johannesburg sun, and her eyes, they held something deep, like the bottom of the Vaal River. It hadn't always been like this. Before she became Mama Nomsa, the queen of fish at Johannesburg Market, she was just Nomsa Mthembu, a young girl from a village near Potchefstroom. At 16, her uncle gave her out in marriage to a much older man. She didn't understand much then, only that she had to cook, clean, and give children. And she did all with patience. Her husband wasn't wicked, just tired from life. He worked hard in the mines. She supported him. Life was not soft, but it was manageable. Then one rainy morning he left for work and never came back. A taxi accident on the N12 near Klerksdorp. She didn't even get to bury him properly. They only brought home his work boots and ID book. Her only child, her daughter Amale, became her reason to breathe. Nomsa poured every part of her soul into the girl. Amale was 10, bright-eyed, sharp, and full of questions. Then the poison came. It was from a cold drink Amale bought after school, a careless mixture from a street vendor. Others survived. Amale didn't. And that was the day something inside Nomsa died too. Weeks passed. People came and went. Some offered prayers, others gave advice, but the pain sat like a stone in her chest. Then came the day she walked to the riverbank near Potchefstroom, where fishermen sold their catch. She told herself she wanted to buy fresh fish and forget her pain, even if it was for a few minutes. She carried a small bunch of old rand notes in her bra. It was all she had. She greeted one seller, then another. She tried to smile, but her hands shook. Her chest was tight. When it was time to pay, she reached into her blouse and froze. Her money was gone. Gone. She checked again and again. Nothing. Someone had stolen it, likely in the crowd. People stared. 2 women near her whispered. One said, "Aish, widow life is not easy." The other added, "Let her cry small. She will be fine." But no one helped. She stood there, silent, broken. A strong wind blew. The sky was changing. It was evening already, and she knew she wouldn't have enough strength to walk all the way home to Alexandra. She found a quiet stone at the far end of the riverbank and sat down, watching the water. Her eyes were dry, the tears were finished. Her back ached, her legs were numb. She closed her eyes and slept. She woke up with a small shiver. It was already dark. The moon hung low and the night was quiet except for the soft ripple of the Vaal River. Then she saw her. A woman, tall, glowing, graceful, stood a few feet away just beyond the rocks under the old bridge. Her dress shimmered like wet silk, her hair flowed long and dark, and her skin sparkled under the moonlight. Nomsa sat up quickly. For a moment she thought she was dreaming. "Thank God someone is still here," she whispered to herself. The woman looked too elegant, too clean for a place like this. Maybe she was a rich fish exporter or the wife of a government official. Nomsa stood up slowly, embarrassed, but desperate. "Good evening," she said, her voice quiet. "Please, can you help me with just small taxi money? I was robbed, and I've been stranded here." The woman didn't seem surprised. She smiled gently and stepped closer. "Is that all you want?" she asked, her voice smooth like calm water. "How about fish you can sell?" Nomsa blinked. "Fish?" she repeated. The woman pointed to the river. "What if I give you fish that no fly will ever touch? Fish that people will fight to buy? A table that never dries?" Nomsa didn't speak. Her mouth was open. The woman's smile widened. She turned, walked over to a flat rock near the bridge, and bent down. From behind it, she lifted the biggest, shiniest fish Nomsa had ever seen in her life. Then another, then a third. The fish glittered like silver poured from the sky. Nomsa took a step forward, almost trembling. "What is this?" she whispered. The woman looked at her calmly. "Say yes, and your life will never be the same again." She didn't know why she said yes. Maybe it was the hunger. Maybe it was the pain of having nothing left. Or maybe it was the way the woman looked at her with eyes that didn't pity her, but saw something deeper. Nomsa whispered, "Yes." And just like that, the woman smiled again, soft, graceful, and almost too calm for someone in the dark by a river. She handed Nomsa the 3 large silver fish. They were heavy but not slippery. They didn't even smell. "You will know what to do," the woman said. "Just don't forget this moment." Then she turned, walked back under the bridge and vanished into the shadows. Nomsa stood there for a long time, fish in hand, unsure of whether she was awake or dreaming. By sunrise, she reached home and placed the fish on a tray she used long ago. Her neighbour saw them and gasped, "Hi, where did you get these from? They look like blessing fish." Nomsa smiled faintly. She didn't explain. She took the fish to Johannesburg Market later that day. By noon, all 3 were sold for prices higher than she had ever imagined. It continued the next day and the day after that. Each morning, more fish appeared near her shack door, already cleaned and glistening. She didn't tell anyone at first. She worked hard, woke early, arranged the table, washed everything like old times. Something strange happened. Even on the days she felt too weak to prepare or cover the fish properly, they remained perfect, fresh, shining, and without a single fly. Other sellers noticed. Some accused her of buying government fish. Others said she had gone to a sangoma. But she knew the truth, or at least part of it. In her heart, she told herself, "Maybe this is what favor feels like. Maybe God finally looked at me." She started getting used to the new life. Her pain was still there, but the fish distracted her. The crowd distracted her. The money distracted her. She bought a proper table, then a better tray, then a small weighing scale. Life was rising again, slowly but surely. But peace never stays for long. One morning she was in her backyard picking spinach when she heard footsteps. Not from the front gate, from inside. She turned quickly and froze. The woman was standing beside her shack wall, the same woman from the river. Noma's heart dropped. How did you find my house?" The woman smiled gently, the same calm in her voice. You didn't tell me, but I know where you are. Nomsa looked around. She had never seen the woman enter. No gate sound, no knock, no warning. She stepped back slowly. The woman raised one hand. Don't be afraid. I only came to finish what we started. Nomsa didn't move. The woman walked forward and sat on a small plastic chair near the back door, like she had visited many times before. Sit with me, she said softly. Nomsa obeyed. There was a long silence. Then the woman spoke. Nothing good comes free. Nomsa looked down. You've been receiving fish, silver fish, fly-free, endless. You think it's just kindness? Nomsa swallowed hard. You helped me. I was desperate. I did, the woman nodded. But now you must hear the full deal. Nomsa's hands were shaking. The woman continued. From now on, no man must touch you. Not in desire, not in love, not in loneliness. Your body must belong to no one. Nomsa stared. Why? Because power is pure, the woman said. The kind I gave you lives best in silence. The body carries weight. If you share it with a man, your gift will turn against you. Your flesh will melt like fire on plastic. Your skin will break apart. You will dissolve. Nomsa was silent. She didn't know what to say. She thought of her husband long gone. She thought of how men no longer noticed her, how some tried to talk but she was too broken to answer. She looked at the woman. So if I remain alone, I keep everything? The woman nodded. You will never lack fish. You will never worry about flies. People will fight to buy from you. You will never need to ask again. Nomsa looked away. It was strange. Part of her wanted to say no, but another part, the part that had nothing left to lose, felt like this was the easiest yes in the world. She closed her eyes and whispered, I accept. The woman stood. Then keep your word, she said, and your gift will never run dry. Nomsa opened her eyes. The woman was gone again. No door creaked, no wind blew. Just silence. That night, Nomsa sat in her room for hours. She didn't feel afraid. She felt numb. A deal had been made, not the kind people shout over in markets, not the kind that ends with a receipt. This one lived inside her now. She touched her chest. No more love, no more kisses, no more hands to hold her at night. But in return, she would survive. She would eat. She would live. I have nothing left to give anyway, she told herself. I only need peace. That's all. What she didn't know was that something better had still been waiting for her. Something that would arrive not with fish but with a face. And one day, it would test everything she thought she had buried. Stay tuned for the part 2 of the video. Please don't forget to like this video, share with someone, comment of what you think and subscribe so that you will not miss out on the part 2.